We'll be starting in just about a minute, so hold tight and we'll get going in about, like I said, just over a minute. Thanks for joining us today, guys. We'll be getting started real soon. You're invited to use your chat and also the question box if you have any questions today that you want to pose to our presenters. Right. Thanks, Keith, for reminding me. Yes, we'll keep you in mute, but if you're welcome to chat, and there will be somebody online to answer your questions as you put them into the box. Okay, I think we're going to get started now. Hi, I'm Kate Steck. I'm with ASI Show. And thanks for you guys joining us today. We know your time is precious, so thanks for being part of this event. And thanks to Stalls, who is sponsoring this track today. At any time, you can type your questions into the question box, and there will be somebody monitoring it and answering them. We'll also field a couple questions at the end of today's presentation too, so just keep the questions coming. And now I'm happy to introduce Rachel Corey from Stalls. Rachel, the stage is all yours.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. First, I want to start and say thank you to ASI for putting this together. I know times are crazy right now, and so not being together obviously is a bummer, but being able to do this education virtually is awesome. So as Kate mentioned, throughout this entire program, if you have any questions, my partner Vicky is going to be monitoring the chat, and she works here at Stalls, so she is very knowledgeable on any questions that you may have. And at the end, we'll also answer any questions if you guys would like me to personally do that. So feel free to chat throughout, so we'll kind of cover hopefully every question that you guys will have. So again, thank you to ASI, and let's get started. I'm gonna wait to show you guys my PowerPoint because I wanted to give you a little background on CAPS and why we're really talking about them. So if you guys have been around for the last few months on any of the ASI channels, I'm sure you have seen myself or one of my partners talking about hats. Hats are one of the most popular trends right now. So decorating anywhere from like single color to full color to dimensional, and we're gonna cover every single base as it relates to hats today. So as Kate mentioned, my name is Rachel Corey, and I am a strategic account manager for the Stalls Decorator Network. So the Stalls Decorator Network, for those of you that are not familiar with it, is compiled of 19 contract decorators across the country. All of these decorators are trained and certified using heat transfer technology from Stalls and Hotronix. So if you aren't familiar, Hotronix is one of our lines of heat presses. So this is one of our newest presses that I wanted to talk about. When I pull up my presentation, it makes it a little bit smaller. So I'm hoping you guys can see this. This press is very unique to heat printing. So in addition to our decorators being able to heat print and use all of our materials, they also have most of our presses in-house. So all of our decorators, if they do not have this, are currently being shipped one of these presses. So anything that you see throughout this presentation today can be fulfilled throughout our network, or if you're interested in bringing this in-house, that is always another option as well. So what makes this press unique? So if you're familiar with your traditional heat press, it is like a waffle iron type press where traditionally all your heat is being generated from the top part of the press. This press is also going to produce heat from the bottom. So you'll see the silicone rubber pad on here. So why is this important to you? when you're printing on any cap, but specifically a lot of issues arise with like a 6-panel cap, you're running into crease marks, you're running into the, those big boxes that you get around the design or on the hat because you have a really stiff edge on the back of the press. This is going to eliminate all of those issues for you because you're going to be pumping heat from the top and the bottom of the press. Another reason that's important is because today we're going to talk about a lot of dimensional logos, and those dimensional logos, in order to heat apply them properly and withstand the life cycle of the actual product, it's so thick that if you only apply it with top heat, you're not going to activate the adhesive all the way. So applying it with lower heat, you're going to really sandwich that adhesive to make sure that it's going to withstand all the wash cycles that we guarantee here at Stahls'. So a few cool features of this press. It does come, for those of you that are familiar with our Fusion IQ technology. So essentially it's very similar to like an Apple iCloud. So you can plug in Bluetooth onto this press. It is a very, very intelligent press. That being said, it's very simple to use. So you can pre-program all of your settings in here. For those of you that aren't printing in-house, I won't talk about the press the whole time, but these are just some really awesome features of this press. So when you're loading a hat on here, all of your application settings are going to be programmed into your press, and this is actually going to auto open for you. So it allows you to walk away from the press to do multiple different functionalities, and also not worry about ruining your application because every material is going to be very specific ingredients to application. So we'll highlight this a little bit further in the presentation, but I just wanted you guys to see this firsthand. So this is our 360 hat press, or Fusion IQ hat press from Hotronix. And if you have questions about the press, feel free to chat them, and then I can always answer them at the end too. So now I'm going to share my screen and we'll kind of dive into caps. Okay, so we first have let's see here. These are all statistics that we gathered from ASI. So on here, you'll really see all of the main products that you're using within the promotional field. So anywhere from writing utensils, umbrellas, apparel, outerwear, t-shirts, caps, they're kind of ranked on a product ownership, right? So, but on a level of distribution within the United States. So you'll see it's not all apparel. So we do have a lot of hard goods in here. So a lot of the products that we'll be reviewing today are compatible with hard goods and soft goods. So keep that in mind. And again, feel free to ask us if you like a specific product, if it is available in a hard good and soft good adhesive. So here you'll notice headwear is at a 69%. So obviously it's not the top, which is your writing instruments, but it is slightly above halfway there. And it is a product that many people gravitate towards. So here are some more statistics from ASI. So here you'll look at the quality, utility, and attractiveness of each product. And when I'm looking at the chart, the one thing that stands out to me about caps is it really hits middle of the road for all three categories. So it has the quality you want, it has the utility, it has the attractiveness. So hats are very gender neutral. Anybody can wear them. They can really accentuate, they can just, what I'm trying to think of the word, they can make your outfit stand out more than just a standard outfit, right? So it's not just a baseball hat, it's not just a beanie, it's not just a fisherman's hat. There's so many different styles, and all of these are really gonna be compatible on our presses. So when you're looking at these hats, don't pigeonhole into the traditional hat that you think about every single day. So I actually have a very awesome position that I'm in, that I get to partner with a lot of people and have creative brainstorms with our bling suppliers. So I was in a meeting the other day, and one of my partners was specifically doing a beanie, or requested to do a beanie for a construction company. And this person wasn't specifically sold on this product. And I said, think about the brand as a whole, okay? So yes, it's a beanie. Maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea, but here in Michigan, most of our construction is happening outside, okay? So think about in the beginning of the day, when I'm driving to work, I'm passing probably 18 to 20 gas stations from home to the office. At all of those gas stations between 6:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning, I constantly am seeing construction groups filling up fuel in their trucks, going in to get coffee, going in to get breakfast. So when this person's getting ready for the day and part of their uniform is this beanie, think about the amount of times that your brand is being seen just by one person. So in the morning, when they're fueling up the trucks or getting coffee at their local shop or breakfast, and then all day when they're hypothetically outside working on their construction site and people driving by or people visiting the site, that's two places that your brand is being seen. And say this happens to be a day that they don't bring their lunch and they go out to lunch. That's another place that your brand is being seen. And then again in the afternoon on the site, so you're getting different traffic throughout the day. And then at home, when you're leaving for at the end of the day to go home, you're stopping because maybe you have to pick up some groceries for dinner or you need to fuel up your own vehicle to get back home. That is already 5 places that your brand is being exposed to, even if it's just by one person, and that is every single day that they wear that hat. Now, hypothetically, you put this on a really cool hat that everybody loves, or this customer specifically loves, and they think it's the warmest beanie they've ever worn, and they wear it all winter long. You're constantly grabbing your favorite piece when you're walking out the door. So if you're elevating your brand and thinking outside the box and really being creative with how you're decorating these goods, people are gonna be more inclined to wear them and constantly creating that brand awareness for you, which then creates that top of mind awareness for your company or the end user that you're decorating for. And it's just going to keep promoting that product, right? So thinking outside the box and bringing this to your customers outside of just your traditional same old, just front of the mill cap. You want this to be a product that really stands out, that people want to gravitate towards and grab from their closet to wear. Okay, so here, this is one of my favorite charts from ASI for caps. So or for all products really. So when you look at this, these are the brand impressions that you get from one piece of the given materials throughout its lifetime. So they say that on average, a cap is gonna last about 10 months in an end user's life cycle. So throughout that 10 months, the average is gonna be 3,400 impressions for a hat. That should blow everyone's mind. That is a lot of impressions from one single cap. So say you're doing 500 caps for a business, think about how many impressions you're getting from that one piece of promotional product that you're doing. So this is where I was referring to the 10 months. So promotional headwear is kept on average of 10 months. And if you guys are anything like me, I have a closet full of probably 35 caps that I cannot live without. Of those 35 caps I refuse to part with, I probably wear the same 3 to 4 caps all the time, okay? So I have 2 caps that are fully branded on the front. I have 2 caps that are subtly branded depending on what I'm wearing, right? Because we kind of try and coordinate. Some of us do, some of us don't. So I have those few that I'm gonna always go to because I know how they fit, I know how they feel, I know they look good on me, and they make me feel confident, right? So outside of just what makes your customer feel good, it's what's gonna make them stand out, okay? Anybody can go to any old store and buy just a standard blank cap, okay? So how are you gonna personalize this? It says here that 1/3 of men wear their promo hats or more often on a weekly basis, right? So I don't know about you guys, but a lot of Zooms I'm on, people are wearing caps and beanies and different types of hats, and our world is changing. Caps are fashionable. Caps have almost become a professional brand if you decorate them the right way. So here's kind of a simple rundown of profitability on caps, okay? So say you have a job and it's 14 hats. You have the time to produce is 15 minutes because depending on your application, it's gonna be under a minute per application. Your selling price per hat is going to be $25, if not more, depending on the product used. And then the cost to produce per hat is going to be $15.85. So you're making almost $10 per cap with a total profit of $128.10. So if that doesn't stand out in your mind, it's incredible how much money you can make here. So just from buying a step above just like your base cap and buying a step above your standard transfer is going to elevate your logo. It's going to elevate your client's reputation, and it's going to make you more money while not breaking the bank and costing you a lot of time in production. Okay, so here's a few different types of transfers. So the first one's going to be our twill, and this product is very popular for hats and just for apparel in general because it gives you that faux embroidery look. So two of the hats that I can think of off the top of my head in my closet that I grab are traditional full embroidery that I just absolutely love. It's a very classic look. It's clean. This twill gives you that similar look without the setups, without having to hoop, without the hassle of actually doing embroidery. And it also allows you to do smaller minimums where embroidery isn't always the right solution, especially with caps, because people aren't always ordering 5,000 caps. Sometimes you just need 12 or 50 caps. So save your embroidery for those large runs and then use your heat printing for smaller runs and constantly have your heat press running. You also have the option on this twill to get a sew file if you want to elevate to that traditional embroidery look. So you can stitch around the edges, or you can just heat apply the twill as is. The next is our digital, and this is going to be one of our go-to full color options. So there's so many times that people will come and say, hey, our screen printer doesn't want to mess with this. It's 6 to 7 colors. It's just too much. And even if they will, it just is going to break the bank. Our digital is a digitally printed vinyl that you can put as many colors as you want on. You can put as much detail, either with or without an outline, and you can really complement your customer's brand by making it pop. So we have different matte and gloss finishes depending on what their preferred finish is for that. Then we have dimensional, which is one of my favorites and one of our most popular, which I'm sure many of you have seen it. We have anything from Flexstyle, which is a 3D raised emblem. We have silicone, which is a silicone dye block, almost like rubber material. We have our soft foam. We have a slew of dimensional products, and dimensional is awesome, one for full color, single color, or even for tonals, because if you're doing like black on black or blue on blue, to help you really for your logo to pop on that piece of on that hat, to do a dimensional is going to give it that extra like corporate retail look. And then we have our heat transfer vinyl. So heat transfer vinyl is going to be more for like 1 or 2 colors, but it does allow you to do some special effects. So one of my favorite special effects, and this is almost like a tonal, is our high vis reflective. So this is the black reflective on a black hat, but the black is almost charcoaly, but since it has that reflective, which you can kind of see here, it gives it that pop. So when you're looking at it head on, like up here, it's not in your face screaming reflective, but then when you catch it from the side, you know, or a different angle, it's going to give you that reflective and really make the tonal pop and elevate your brand. So on here, you'll see a lot of front designs, okay? So don't forget that on this press, you can print almost any space on this cap. So on the front, you have just your standard customer logo, and then on the back, you have the actual company name. So you're getting 2 locations on one hat, which again, is hard to do if you're doing embroidery, having to hoop it twice. It's a lot of work. And a lot of decorators will say, hey, why don't we move to heat transfers to save us on time and cost, and then we can turn to your customers quicker, because we all know that we need everything 3 weeks ago. So we want to be as time efficient as possible in this process as well. Okay, so this is my hands down my favorite product. This is our texture twill and perma twill. So ideally the same product, Our texture tool, which you'll see on the top logo, it has almost a thread-like pattern built into it. So this is often used as a faux embroidered patch type look. These products are made in the United States. They turn quickly. They have a $25 minimum, so very conducive for any project. Like the twill, you can also either just heat apply this, or you can heat apply and get a sew file and stitch around the perimeter if you want to elevate your look. I have a lot of people that move from traditional embroidery to any type of twill. So this perma twill or texture twill, which is a full color, any kind of like tackle tool that would be a single color, and add the stitching on around the perimeter, and their customers love it. It's a great transition from your standard embroidery to a heat transfer, which truthfully is going to save you a lot of time and money moving to a heat transfer. You'll see on the other side, the rainbow part of the design is the Sim Stitch twill. So this is also a full color, or you can use a single color twill on your caps. Same process. So no sewing required. However, you can if you want to elevate that to the embroidered look. All of these products that I'm showing you are also able to be applied over the seams. So as you'll see here, it's a little bit harder to see on the computer, but you can see this is heat applied directly over the seam. You see absolutely no seam on this cap. But look at that finish. It's sharp, it looks like a patch, and it turns quickly, and they're easy to apply. So your decorator is not going to have any issues applying these as long as they follow, again, all of the right application instructions on their machines. Okay, so here's when we're getting into dimensional heat transfer. I'm not going to say it, but again, one of my favorites. I think they're probably all my favorites. So two of our most popular dimensional products. First one is our soft foam, which just launched a month, maybe 2 months ago. It's a brand new product. It is a single color vinyl, and it can be, again, applied over seams, but it does have that soft foam. It's exactly what it is. So it has that foam finish. Think like retro 80s finish on a t-shirt, right? Like you're looking at, like, it's not as thick as puff embroidery or puff screen printing, but it's going to have almost that same dimension, but it's going to have such a beautiful soft hand on it. And you can see a couple photos of it here. And then we also have our silicone dye block. Silicone dye block, one of my favorite things about this product is that it does have a dye blocker built into it. So any high bleed products, you're not going to get that bleed through. A lot of times that comes from like red and blue garments, or if you're putting white on red and it turns pink, this product will never do that because of the dye blocker that's built into it. So if you're familiar with either like Adidas or Nike or Under Armour, they're all branding like their sleeves or any of their apparel with that rubberized texture feel. This is almost an identical product. So a lot of people, if you have that on a hat, will use it as like their branding. They'll use it on the front to make it just really a flawless application. So your whole hat's just gonna flow from back to side to front. And it really gives that cool dimension. It's really popular with sporting or golf, anything that's gonna use that dimension in your logo. So here, again, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but here is the silicone, and the feel of it is just beautiful. And if any of you are cutting and weeding in house, this is a dream product to weed. It just weeds like butter. And here's a side application too, so you can see the amount of detail and the thin lines you can get in silicone. So as we go through some of these products, we do have to meet cutting specs on some things, and I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. And some products have different cutting specs than others, so they are able to get a lot thinner detail. And I think this here, right, just goes to show you how thin you can get that silicone on your cap. And again, we have all these mesh holes here, absolutely no problem printing over it. So all of these products are gonna be great, like I said, over seams. It's gonna eliminate scorching, but phenomenal solutions for your customers with that cutting edge finish. So you're not just slapping on, you know, just like a standard vinyl transfer, we're giving you all these different tools and resources to make this logo really pop for your customers. Okay, so next we have our digital logos. So this is going to be your traditional digitally printed logos that you'll put on caps. Okay, this is 9 times out of 10, if we're doing full color, this is going to be a product that will refer to you a lot. Again, this product is made in the United States, so quick turn time. All of these are produced typically out of Michigan, and then we can ship to you pretty quickly as well. So they're available in different finishes. So like I talked about, you can either get them in like a glossy finish or a matte finish, depending on what you and your customer prefer. They're super easy to apply. Most of these products, if you're familiar with application at all, are hot peels. So you press it, you peel it right away, it's ready to go, okay? You can pick at it, it's not gonna come off. So all of our application instructions are very unique to each product, and they all are meant to withstand a certain wash cycle as well. So these caps are friendly to just throw in the wash machine. I know I do that all the time. If you're working out or if it's dirty where you are and you need to wash that white cap, these are all gonna be completely fine to throw in your wash machine. All you have to do is send us your artwork, your sizing, and the cap that you're printing on. So on the last slide of this presentation, I'll have my contact information, but when we're dealing with artwork and we're trying to figure out which logo to use or what to use on what cap, the best thing that you can give our team is your artwork, preferably vectorized, the sizing of the artwork, the quantity, and then the substrate being printed onto, and we can kind of give you a good, better, best, right? So this is going to be your standard heat transfer vinyl. This is going to be our silicone, and then this is going to be a dimensional product. So a lot of times good, better, best will go in price order, but oftentimes you can also do good, better, best within the same price, just different finishes. So I find a lot of times that when I'm talking to customers, their end users are either afraid of heat transfers or they're afraid to step outside of the box, okay? And it is truly our job and your job from this PowerPoint and this presentation to take with you some new creative ideas and talk to your customers about them and say, hey, let's just do some samples of the silicone or of the flex style or maybe some different patches and see what you think and take your brand to the next level. So as we go through the next few products, I really want you to be thinking about maybe some customers that you could be pitching this to or where this could fit in your book of business. So here's some tools for success when you're talking to customers about this stuff, okay? So a lot of people want to do your traditional silkscreen or embroidery, and they don't want to get into these different products, mostly because it's intimidating. There's a lot of information out there, and it's, how do I know this is going to be great? How do I know this is going to work for me? So here's a few tools for you guys, and if you want to email us after too, we can send you direct links to some of these or other resources on our website too. But on our website, we have a design placement guide. So this is one of my absolute favorite tools because it's going to give you, I think, about either 4 or 5 pages of popular products. So duffel bags, t-shirts, sweatshirts, caps, some hard goods, and it's going to show you unique places to heat print on. Okay. So a lot of times people come to heat transfer because they want to do unique placements, unique finishes, and smaller minimums, okay? So when you're thinking unique placement, when we're on Zooms, I have people constantly saying, hey, it's great, you know, you can see my left chest here, but sometimes if you have like the Brady Bunch boxes, you can't always see everyone's left chest because it's really just kind of like mid-chest up. So I'm doing a lot of like collar decoration, side of the cap. So when you turn your head, you're not just getting the branding on the front, but you're getting it on the side. Or if you see somebody from the back, branding the back of something or the, you know, the yoke of your neck, it's really helping you step out of that box, but not having to rely on just your own creativity. So this is a great tool to really like spark that imagination in your products and where to print and how to print on these. Stahls Decorating Services, as I mentioned, the Stahls Decorator Network, also known as SDN, it has phenomenal decorators in our network, and all of them are able to print anything that you see on this PowerPoint. Basics of heat printing. So if you are doing this in-house, or maybe I've had a lot of people come and wanting to purchase smaller presses or even a cap press to do some sampling on, the basics 101 of heat printing and what's going to help you profit the most. And then Stalls TV, which is our YouTube channel. And if you can't find a heat printing video to answer a question that you have on there, I will be genuinely shocked, but we can always create a video for you specifically or do a live demo. So the Stalls TV has, gosh, thousands and thousands and thousands of videos ranging from 2 minutes to an hour. So depending on if you just need to know how to do something really quick, there's plenty of videos on there that are going to give you a brief demo. And then there's also videos that are going to go through for 30, 45 minutes to an hour, really giving you a deep dive, because we really pride ourselves in our education. So we want you guys to be equipped with the best tools possible when you're pitching to your customers and when you're doing this in-house. So feel free to check that out. And again, if you have questions about it, let us know. We can always send you like an actual direct video instead of you having to search through if you can't find it. Okay, so money saving tips. These are our 4 tips that we're going to give you. Number 1, maximize the logo use for other items. Okay, so as we get into our dimensional products or even some of these digital products, our digital products have a $25 minimum. So if you don't reach that minimum, you're going to order more logos or it'll produce more logos for you. I always tell people caps are very easily versatile. Okay, most transfers on a cap are going to be the same size that you would use as a left chest or branding on a bag. So when you're ordering these logos, think about how else you can elevate your customer's brand. So if you're doing, a lot of people are doing kitting now or packaging, unboxing is a huge thing. So unboxing is if you're doing like multiple pieces for this customer, they're going to have a cap, a shirt, a pen, an umbrella, a calendar, you name it. Maximize your space with these logos. So when you're doing hats, doing a 3 to 3.5 inch logo is going to give you that versatility to put it on other products, ultimately saving you money in the long run. Number 2, consider the texture and seams on the hat. So as you've seen the products I've shown you today, you can print over the seams. So always be cognizant of that and don't be afraid. So what you've done in the past, don't throw it out the window, but grow with it, right? So allow yourself to become more creative and to really think outside of the box and add some dimension to your hats. Do a tonal look, go for some high vis reflective, do some dimensional products. If your customer always wants matte, show them a metallic finish and see what they think about it. You know, our customers only see what we give to them. So if you give them more options, then they're going to start thinking creatively too, and ultimately come back to you because you're giving them something different that's going to make them stand apart from everybody else in the field. Is the heat transfer vinyl compatible with the hat material? Again, rely on us. We are the product experts until you really grasp our products and figure out what you like to use. We'll always help you make sure it's going to be compatible and it's going to withstand the lifespan of that product. And as I mentioned earlier, don't be afraid to upsell. Good, better, best. A lot of times people will only pigeonhole this into price categories. But what you can do is good. Okay, this is what your customer has always done. Okay, it's just a full color logo on the front, standard vinyl. Now let's talk to them about silicone, right? They're doing a lot of these cool caps and they're not pairing a finish that's going to complement it as well as they could. And again, if you don't bring these options to them, they'll never know they exist or they'll find it on their own. So beat them to it, right? And really help them elevate their brand. Okay, so increasing visibility. So this is exactly what I was showing you like on this cap that you can brand all over the hat. So I actually have that visor here with me, so I'll show you guys. You can print. So this is a flex style here, and this is just a standard vinyl. So pairing different vinyls together to make certain pieces of it pop and add some different dimension to hats. But then you can print all the way around this cap. I mean, that's incredible, right? So you cannot do this with any other technology. This is heat printing specific. This is so cool. And it's really not going to add much more time to your production to do this entire cap. So it's gonna be kind of hard to see on here, but again, we can always do live demos with you guys after. But you can literally move this cap all the way around the press to print on any part of this cap, okay? We also do a different finish, which is our under the bill. So if any of you are printing on flat rimmed hats, you can print under the bill on our standard flat heat press. So you don't necessarily need a cap press to print on this part of your hat. So this is really cool. People, I mean, I'm sure all of you guys have seen, if people have like branded stickers, they leave their stickers on here. But I just did a project for a customer that put his whole company name here, and then they did a subtle brand on the side. So if you want that big, powerful brand, or if you want the subtle, you kind of have a choice depending on how you wear your hat. So that's a really awesome option as well. And then we also have a hat like this fisherman. So you can, same thing, print all the way across this cap. And it's as easy as just spinning it on the press. It is not complicated. This is a very intelligent press, but as I said, it does not take a whole lot of intelligence to operate it. It's very simple and very user-friendly. So those are a few options for printing around the press, but don't forget about personalization, okay? So all day long, you can throw a logo on the front of the cap, right? A lot of people will not steer away from this. They want their brand front and center. But what is going to make somebody grab this hat out of their closet and make it their favorite of a box full of hats? Why are they going to keep grabbing this one? Is it because it's branded like Coach on the back, or they have their favorite nickname, or they have their lucky number on the back? Personalization really helps your product stand out, and it elevates them for your customer. It makes their product important to them, right? So always think about your customers and what's going to make them happy. So if they have teams or dealerships or any situation that you can customize it in, I always recommend customization. And as you can see, I actually don't have an example here, but you can see the photo of the green hat with Coach. You can print on these back seams. I call them like the pony holder Velcro seam, but you can print on these back seams of the caps as well. Okay, so we're going to show you a little bit of how-to training. You might have some questions after this, but this is going to be giving you a deep dive into our FlexStyle products. So we have our top trending applications right now are FlexStyle, leather patches, embroidered patches, and our twill faux patches. Patches are hands down one of the most asked for products on caps. So before we jump into the video, I do want to show you guys a few of these options decorated. So we do offer these leather patches. If you guys were in Orlando this year, you may have seen it. We launched these just in January. So these come in 3 different colors. Okay, so 3 different like brown leathers. These are genuine leather, so I would not recommend throwing this in the wash like you would any of our other products, because quite frankly, you're not going to throw your genuine leather jacket or your briefcase into the wash and then dry it, tumble dry. So just treat these a little bit more gently than you would other products. But again, just heat applied, and you can see the amount of detail that you can get in these logos. Here's another one for reference. These are awesome. I mean, a lot of people are gravitating towards leather patches because the turn time is quick. The minimum is 25 pieces. So most people that are ordering these are ordering a ton and pairing them with hats and jackets. So again, utilizing that left chest size to really maximize your exposure. Our second product is the embroidered patch. So again, only heat applied. This is stitch free besides the actual patch itself. So all you need is a heat press to apply this patch. And you can see the detail in here. How awesome is that? And you can get up to 6 thread colors on these patches. So really it opens a lot of doors for you, whether you only need 2 or 3 colors, or if you want to get a little crazy and do 5 colors, and that includes neons as well. And one of our newest products for our patch line is our 3D embroidery. So I don't know if you guys can see how 3-dimensional this is, but it's really awesome. And again, heat applied only, 6 thread. You can do 6 different thread colors, including the neon colors on this patch. And then I'm gonna kind of backtrack to tonal because this hat's really cool, this blue on blue. So this is our Flex Style, which is a 3-dimensional logo. And you can kind of see the dimension here. Kind of. It's a little, again, a little hard to see on camera. But this is Flex Style, only heat applied. Again, all of these products that you're seeing right now are 25-piece minimum. So easy to do smaller orders with, or to upsell to 100 pieces and do bags and jackets with it and like really elevate these logos. Here, this is a really awesome logo too. So this is a bull logo, and you can see this is metallic. So you can get these in metallic or matte finishes. But look at the amount of detail you can get in this logo. Okay, so I'm gonna save the rest of them, but we're gonna watch a quick video. Oh, maybe.
Hi, this is Josh Ellsworth with Stahls, and I'm here at our Stahls Hotronix Heat Press Manufacturing facility in southwestern Pennsylvania. And I'm excited to announce that we've relaunched our 360 IQ hat press. This heat press completely reinvents the category of decorating headwear. I think you'll be excited to see how this can apply dimensional logos to hats without the scorch mark, making your life easier and allowing you to make more money in your business. Let's come in close and take a look at this press and how it works. To understand how the press works, we first need to look at our dual silicone platen, which is a patented feature on the press. This silicone platen heats the hat from underneath, allowing you to reach the heat-activated adhesive of these dimensional logos. It's a soft landing pad in one platen.
Okay, guys, apparently the audio is not playing. So I'll kind of just jump in and explain what Josh is talking about. But these are our Flex Style products, which as I was talking about the press in the beginning, is that these products are so dimensional that they're going to give you that raise effect. You can find this video on YouTube, so we'll link it. If you guys reach out to me, I can send it to you. So if you guys want to see that as well. But these products do require bottom heat in order for application to be accurate. Okay, so here's a product. This is the Flex Style. So same product that Josh is showing you, just in a different logo. And this, in order for you to apply it accurately, it does have to activate the adhesive from the bottom and the top. So you're just gonna sandwich it with some heat. You're gonna have more heat from the bottom to activate that adhesive, and then a slider, like just kiss it with some heat on the top. These are gonna be phenomenal finishes for you though. So this is one of our only product lines that does have a setup fee, but through 2020, they are 50% off. So a great time to do some holiday gifts and really get some samples going for your customers, because you're gonna get a great deal on them right now. And once you create a mold, you can continue to use that same mold. So again, this is where we're telling you to utilize your different materials, or to utilize on different products. If you're doing that left chest size, you can put this on bags, on left chest jackets, on polos, on caps, you name it, you can do it. The really cool thing about these Flex Style products, as well as the embroidered patches and leather patches, is they come in 2 different adhesives. So you can do a pressure sensitive adhesive, a pressure sensitive adhesive, which is going to be for your hard goods, which essentially is going to apply like a bumper sticker. So those are going to be compatible with things such as like Tervises, Yetis. I have one on my computer, standalone pencil cases for your desk, different things like that, your hard goods. And then any soft good, we're going to use a heat sensitive adhesive on that you will require a heat press for. So everything you're going to see today would be heat pressed, and nothing's going to be super pressure sensitive, but we'll cover that in other stalls videos. If you're around here all the time, you'll be able to see those as well. So here is a logo, which if you guys were at the trade shows at the beginning of the year, you may have seen this. But this is a great logo to really show your customers. We can always send you photos of it to give them a different idea, to show the amount of detail and color that you can achieve in this FlexStyle product. So look at how incredible this product is. And you can either do dome, texture, beveled, flat. There's a bunch of different finishes that you can achieve with this product. So you're not pigeonholed into it just being like a domed 3D transfer. If you see where this video paused, it's actually a texture transfer on there, which I know is a little hard to see, but if you kind of squint your eyes and tilt your head, you can tell. But it has a nice texture built into it, so it gives it a different dimension that for just a standard silver logo really makes it pop. Gives it some elevation. So here's another FlexStyle transfer, which a lot of people question about because everyone hates when heat transfers have to have a big bulky outline on them. And this one actually is going to allow you to have some essentially like floating text, but with a clear outline. So if you can see it, which you hardly can, there's a clear outline around that oceanside spa and resort. And it allows you to give that really thin spa and resort text and not have to put a huge backing underneath it. So let me try and see if I can get a little closer. So again, it's clear, so it's gonna kind of like look like it's one with the hat. But even the texture on these leaves and the wave ripples, I mean, those don't have an outline on them, and you can get some insanely fine detail on these products and really not have to alter your customer's logo, which I know is a huge necessity in our world. And then here's another, so this is going to give you a little closer look to the texture. Here's a texture, well, maybe, again, a little hard to see. Hi, Kate, with the logos on the computer, but those are our FlexStyle products, our leather patches, our 3D embroidery, and our embroidered patches. So again, if you have questions about it, let us know, and we're happy to send you guys custom quotes for anything that you've seen here. Let me see here. Okay, so here's our contact information. This goes to our team. I do sit in this inbox most of the day. I have partners in this inbox too to give you guys the quickest response time. We are going to come out with a sample kit. They are launching the first week of November of all of the patch products. So if you would like to get your hands on one of those, then shoot us an email to the sdn@stalls.com, and we'll make sure that we put you on the list so that when they're ready to ship out, you're one of the first to get them. Other than that, I'm ready for questions. But again, ASI, thank you so much for letting us be here. Sorry for my video blubber that this noise wasn't working.
I'm sure you'll be able to provide it for them, and they can watch it at another time. So, but it was interesting. I wanted to see the rest of it too. Well, thank you. That was a great presentation. We only had a couple questions come in, so please, if anyone has any questions, we have some time for them. Victoria asked, well, no, Victoria didn't ask. Victoria answered, but Tracy did ask if she could get a copy of this PowerPoint. I'm guessing you will provide that for them.
Sure, yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. And Mr. Cruz asked if patches will work on beanies.
Oh my gosh, yes, thank you. They will. Okay, so this isn't a patch, but I'm going to show you on our beanies. I actually just did a project for the Eskimo, like for winter hats too, and we did some FlexStyle on them, and I did embroidered patches, and they looked awesome. But here's a beanie with just a standard heat transfer on it. But anything that a heat transfer typically is going to work on, your patch is going to work on. But we just did some leather patches on a similar type beanie, and you can see it has like it's one of those really stretchy ones. So with our patches, you just have to make sure that just because the beanie stretches, the patch isn't going to stretch. So just make sure it's going to be exactly what your customer wants. So they will work on beanies. Those stiffer ones, kind of like similar to a Carhartt beanie or something, are gonna be what I would recommend for it.
And actually, Mr. Cruz asked if it is possible to order samples of the patches.
Yeah.
Or samples patches, he wrote.
Yep. And then all our setup fees for all those are 50% off through 2020, and then we'll get the samples to you. So I want to say samples run with the mock-up are about like 35. They're under $40, like all said and done, to get 5 samples in your hand.
Great. And there was actually a question asking about the price of the hat press.
So our hat press is $14.95. Yeah, which is actually a phenomenal price. So we have another cap press that doesn't have the lower heat built into it, and that one's sitting right about $1,000. So for a small increase in price, you're going to get a much smarter brain to it and the lower heat.
That's great. So any other questions?
Okay.
My dog had a question. My dog just spoke up for a second. But anything else you want to share? We do have a couple more minutes, Rachel.
I have a lot of customers interested in this press. It's a phenomenal press. It's definitely, we had a hard time keeping it on our shelves the last 6 months. So what a lot of people do on this though is your print space is just about 3 inches. And so if you do a lot of left chest sampling or smaller product sampling and caps, this press isn't just a cap press. It's very versatile to do that kind of stuff for you. So if you're maybe contract decorating and want to do some sampling in-house, this would be a great investment if you're doing smaller areas just for sampling purposes or smaller runs. It's not just for hats and pigeonholing into that category, but it definitely covers a lot of bases too outside of that.
Okay, I am now sharing with everybody the link to the next class. So we do want to thank you, Rachel, for your presentation today, and thank you to Stalls again for sponsoring this track. If you haven't already signed up for another class, we do have one coming up right after this called Decorate Top Promo Products on Demand, and I've already just put the link into the chat if you haven't registered for it yet. So I accidentally put in the link to this class first, but the second one is the one that will take you to the next class, which starts at 2 o'clock. So you have a few minutes to grab a cup of coffee and join us back here. If not, thank you again for coming today, and have a great day.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.